It's day 30 and I'm hiking in the dark this morning. Good morning, guys. I can't believe I've been on trail for 30 days, 1 month. Yeah, I'm proud of this. So today's gonna be a rainy day, no big features or anything. But I tried to give you an idea of what's going on today. I packed really early this morning. I wanted to pack everything before it started to rain so I don't end up with like a wet tent in my backpack. And my timing was absolutely perfect. I packed my tent, got my bear bag, and it started to rain at that exact moment. So that was great. I had to do a little bit of night hiking since it was super early. It's getting better right now, so I don't think I'll need my headlamp anymore. So 15 miles today. I'm bringing you with me. Hey guys, since there's not much stuff to show today because it's rainy, I wanted to talk about something that's been bothering me for 2 days now. I read a comment on a Facebook page for Thruhikers about someone who was obviously really frustrated because he was like going home after a couple of days of a hike, and he was basically saying that it was because of YouTubers that only showed the good side of the trail. He was talking about rainbows and unicorns, and that really made me mad because I don't think that's true. It's hard to show the trail per se when it's hard to hike, because obviously if I'm holding my phone, I can't use this arm, and if I need to get over boulders or stuff like that, there's a risk, an increased risk of an injury. So it's true that when you see the trail per se, it's usually flat, easy walking sections or moderately difficult things. But for the cold, the rain, the emotional ups and downs, the crying, the times you want to go home and everything, in my own experience, most of the YouTubers will show this, or at least talk about this, either in their videos or after they are done with the trail. So I'm a little bit mad because I think that that person who calls himself a loser and everything, I don't think he's a loser. I just think he was unprepared. I mean, seeing people go through rain wind, really harsh condition and everything, doesn't seem like rainbow and unicorn to me. So I think that person was like unprepared, was just expecting everything to be like easy, and he just hits a wall, and yeah, he's home. He's talking about getting back for a flip-flop later in the season, and I really hope that he prepares himself mentally, because this is what I think is the common thing about all the people I've watched on YouTube that succeeded. They set themselves up for success. They knew why they wanted to do this. They had a personal reason, intrinsic reasons that got them motivation when it was hard to push and not stop, because it was really important to them. So this is, to me, the most important thing to do before you hit the trail. Like, ask yourself why you want to do this. The other thing that I think can help if you're like planning on getting on that trip is to watch people who stopped, who didn't make it, and see what happened to those people. Why did they stop? So you can like plan ahead the things that people experience. You might get homesick. What will you do if that happens? You might get bored. What can you do if that happens? So find in advance solution to things that might happen while you're on trail. I'm not done yet. I might stop. Something might happen. So I don't pretend I know everything and I'm like have the truth. But to me, setting yourself up to success is really being mentally prepared. And I hope that person like really think about what made him go home, and if he starts with a new mindset. And I don't think that YouTubers are a good reason to quit. I think YouTubers light sparks, inspire people, and yeah. So that was my little talk of the day. If you have any comments, you're disagreeing with me or whatever, just leave a comment in the section below and I'll try to get back to you. Someone asked me to do a little tour of the shelter area to give you an idea of what it looks like. So I'm gonna do it with this one. I'm just stopping here for lunch, but there's nobody, so it's gonna be convenient. So most shelters are 3-wall structures. This one is almost 4, but they are usually built with stones or wood. This one is with logs. Sometimes it's only planks, and then you have a floor that is supposed to be level, so you can just like put your sleeping pad and sleep like right on the floor. Some of them are 2 stories, so you can have people on both levels, so it increases the capacity of people that can get into the shelter. So this is basically it. There's places to hang your backpack so mice can't get to it, and yeah, I mean, that's about it. Most of the places will have a fire ring or fire pit. It's not always the case, but it's usual. After that, most of the shelters will have a privy. So let's go see this one. So this is a really basic model. The ones from Hot Spring to Irwin's are all the same. So there's basically a door and a toilet seat. So that's about it. So there you go. So you are allowed to poop, pee, and put your toilet paper in there, but nothing else. And then you add a little bit of the leaves on the side inside the toilet to help with the decomposition process. So this is the toilet area. Near almost all the shelters there's a water source, so usually you have to walk. We would have to walk down this little path to go to the water. The far out application, which I use to navigate, will tell you where the source is in regard to the shelter, so you'll know where to get your water. Finally, some shelters have what I'll call anti-bear mechanisms. So in Georgia, there was bear boxes. So they were big boxes, big metal boxes with a semi-complex locking system, so bears can get to it. Here, it's what it's called bear cables. So you have those cables that are suspended between two trees. So basically how it works is that you'll hook your food bag here and all your scented item, and then you just lift that thing up, and you can then tie with the other hook on to the tree. You can see right there, there's a little loop, so you can hook it right there, so your food is hanging from that cable and out of reach of bears and other critters. So that concludes our tour of a shelter area. Hopefully it gives you a better idea of what it looks like. A side note for my fellow Quebecers, in Quebec, there's not a lot of people on trails, so I've seen tents set up inside shelters. You don't do that on the Appalachian Trail because it takes the space for 5-6 person to sleep in the shelter. So please don't do that if you're ever on the Appalachian Trail. So that's it for me for right now. This is the first view that I had all day. I'm super tired, been climbing for almost 2 hours now. Yeah, it's really hard. But we're almost there. I think there's 3 miles left, so we'll get to the shelter eventually. Hey guys, it's the end of the day. I was really expecting to be able to stay in the shelter to avoid that rain, but it's already full, so I set up my tent. I was lucky. This morning I was able to pack before it started to rain. It didn't rain that much during the day, and I arrived here. I set up my tent. I went to get some water, and then it started to rain. So again, I was pretty lucky. So most of my stuff is dry. The problem is that it's gonna be below freezing tonight. So during the night. So I'm a little bit concerned, and I'm concerned because tomorrow it's gonna stay really cold, and tomorrow night is gonna be really, really, really cold. So we'll see. Might readjust the plan depending on how wet and icy I am tomorrow morning. Today was a super hard day actually. There was a big climb that was like super tough, and yeah, I had to put music. I had to like sing out loud. It was really, it was a hard day. I worked really, really hard today. So right now I'm hoping that the rain will stop. It's supposed to stop in like an hour, so I can get to the privy and get my food hang at the bear cables. What's next? Well, that's about it, I guess. So hopefully I'll manage to sleep, don't get wet, don't get too cold, and we'll see tomorrow where we stand when I wake up. So have a good night. See you tomorrow.